When Larsa Pippen began dating Michael Jordan's son, Marcus, Michael's reaction shook the sports world to its core.
Mr. Jordan, what do you think about Marcus and Larsa Pippen together? You approve of it? No.
Despite desperate attempts to salvage their relationship, something catastrophic happened behind closed doors and a viral video leaked. Here's the scoop, the viral video. So picture this, it's July 2023, and Michael Jordan is leaving a restaurant in Paris. He's probably had a great meal, maybe a glass of wine, just enjoying his life as one of the greatest athletes of all time. Then, out of nowhere, a TMZ photographer approaches him with what seems like a simple question. Michael, do you approve of your son dating Larsa Pippen? Now, most celebrities would probably give some diplomatic, PR-friendly answer, right? Something like, I just want my son to be happy, or maybe even a polite no comment, but not Michael Jordan. In typical MJ fashion, the same competitive spirit that made him demolish opponents on the court, he gave a response that was short, direct, and absolutely devastating. His response, a simple but resounding no.
Michael Jordan does not approve of his son dating his former teammate / rival's ex-wife, Larsa Pippen. So, Michael Jordan was out in France, and he's leaving, he's headed to his car, and somebody screams to him, Michael, do you approve of your son Marcus dating Larsa Pippen?
But it wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. Jordan initially laughed at the question, then shook his head and gave that definitive no. The photographer, probably shocked at getting such a direct answer, tried to clarify by asking if he approved of the relationship. Jordan doubled down by shaking his head again, reinforcing his answer. The video spread like wildfire across social media, becoming one of the most talked about celebrity moments of 2023. I mean, can you blame people for being obsessed with this? It's not every day that one of the most famous athletes in the world publicly disapproves of his son's relationship choices.
You know, of course, I recently have met, I've recently been hanging out with them, but I don't really want to talk about them. I feel like it's not about, my parents or his parents, they're all happy.
What makes this so fascinating is how rare it is for celebrity parents to publicly disapprove of their children's partners. When researching similar cases, very few direct parallels exist. Sure, we've seen celebrities have strained relationships with their parents, like Lindsay Lohan and her father, who has criticized her personal life, or Beyonce alluding to her father's alleged infidelity in her music, but those aren't quite the same as a parent directly saying no when asked about their child's partner. What makes the Jordan-Pippen scenario particularly unique is the professional history between the families. This isn't just any disapproval. It's one rooted in decades of shared history, championships, and now apparent rivalry. According to Reddit discussions, many fans found the situation icky due to these family ties, adding another layer of complexity to Michael's rejection. Larsa Pippen, understandably, was not thrilled about her boyfriend's father publicly disapproving of their relationship. In an interview, she admitted that she was embarrassed and traumatized by Jordan's comments. I mean, who wouldn't be? Imagine having your relationship rejected by your partner's father, who also happens to be one of the most famous people on the planet, in such a public way. What made this even more awkward was that Larsa had previously claimed that the Jordan family was supportive of their relationship. In an interview with Tamron Hall just months before the viral video, she said,
Yeah, oh yeah.
And today on their Separation Anxiety podcast, Marcus claimed Michael's emphatic no was just a tequila-fueled joke.
She even went on to say, our whole family's fine, suggesting that both the Pippens and the Jordans had accepted their relationship. So when Jordan's viral no came out, it not only contradicted Larsa's claims, but also put Marcus in a pretty awkward position between his girlfriend and his father. In response to the viral moment, Marcus tried to downplay his father's comments, claiming on their podcast, Separation Anxiety, that it was just a joke fueled by tequila.
When I saw it, immediately I thought he's, just being playful. He's, a little lit, maybe. I didn't put too much weight into it.
But let's be real. Did any of us buy that explanation? The way Jordan delivered that no didn't exactly scream, I'm just joking around. It felt pretty definitive, and the body language spoke volumes. As Men's Health reported, Jordan's disapproval seemed quite genuine, despite Marcus's attempt to play it off. Later in their podcast, Larsa acknowledged the awkwardness of the situation, saying,
it probably is awkward for my ex and your dad.
And Marcus agreed.
For sure.
Perhaps one of the most interesting aspects of this whole saga is how it forced all parties involved to navigate their complex family dynamics in the public eye. For Marcus, it meant being torn between loyalty to his father, an icon he clearly respects, given that he runs a boutique dedicated to his dad's sneaker line, and his feelings for Larsa. Despite the public disapproval from Michael Jordan, Marcus and Larsa continued their relationship for nearly a year after the viral video. But one has to wonder how much of a strain it put on them. Did they have uncomfortable family gatherings? Were there tense phone calls between Marcus and his dad? Did they avoid certain topics altogether? In a January February 2024 interview, Marcus tried to downplay any family tension, saying, "I don't think there was ever any hurdles. I just think there was some shock value to the fact that we were dating. Caught maybe some people on my side of the family off guard a little bit," he continued. "I think once people really got to understand and see us together, it made everything a little more comfortable. My parents want to see me happy. Your family wants to see you happy. That's all you could ever ask for." But despite Marcus's attempts to paint a picture of family harmony, the relationship ultimately didn't last. While we can't definitively say that Michael Jordan's disapproval was the direct cause of their breakup, it's hard to imagine it didn't play a role. The pressure of dating someone your father openly disapproves of, combined with the public scrutiny and the complicated family history, would be challenging for any relationship to withstand. What's also fascinating about this whole situation is how it forced Scottie Pippen into an uncomfortable position. Here was his ex-wife dating the son of his former teammate and now rival, and the whole world was watching to see how he would react. Surprisingly, Scottie maintained a relatively low profile throughout the Larsa Marcus saga. Unlike Michael, he didn't make any public statements about the relationship, choosing instead to keep his thoughts private. This silence is particularly interesting given his vocal criticisms of Michael Jordan in recent years, especially following the Last Dance documentary. In one of the few instances where Larsa addressed how Scottie felt about her relationship with Marcus, she said,
No, I feel like we haven't had that conversation. I kind of feel like I don't really ask, him what is going on in his personal life. He doesn't really ask me what's going on in my personal life.
This suggests a fairly distant co-parenting relationship between Larsa and Scottie, which makes sense given that they had been divorced for some time when she began dating Marcus. Their divorce was finalized in 2021, after filing initially in 2016, briefly reconciling and then separating again amid rumors of Larsa's alleged affair with rapper Future, which she denied. It's worth noting that the relationship between Marcus and Larsa wasn't just challenging because of the family dynamics. There was also that significant age gap. Marcus was born in 1990, making him 33 at the time of their relationship, while Larsa, born in 1974, was 49. That's a 16-year difference, which isn't unheard of in celebrity relationships, but definitely added another layer of public scrutiny. In April 2024, Marcus hinted that the age gap and differing life goals might have contributed to their breakup. He suggested that Larsa's desire for more children was a factor in their split. Given that Larsa already has 4 children from her marriage to Scottie, while Marcus doesn't have any kids yet, this would be a reasonable point of contention. NBA Hall of Famer Charles Barkley even weighed in on the relationship in May 2024, describing it as so messy and expressing sympathy for both Michael and Scottie. And honestly, can you blame him? This situation had more drama than the average reality TV show. But let's not forget that Marcus isn't just any celebrity kid. He's a businessman in his own right. He runs Trophy Room, a boutique dedicated to his father's legacy and Jordan brand sneakers. This connection to his father's brand and legacy makes the dynamics of their relationship even more complex. How do you run a business that celebrates your dad while dating someone he publicly disapproves of? Throughout the relationship, both Larsa and Marcus had to navigate not just their feelings for each other, but also the weight of public opinion, family disapproval, and the shadow of NBA history. It's a lot of pressure for any couple to handle, and perhaps it's not surprising that they eventually called it quits. But how did that happen? Let me fill you in. The unexpected romance. Let's start at the very beginning. Larsa wasn't just any NBA wife, though. She's a star in her own right. Born on July 6, 1974, in Chicago to a Lebanese-Syrian family, Larsa identifies as a Syrian and has built her own empire over the years. She was only 23 when she married Scottie in 1997, which was actually the same year he won his 5th championship with the Chicago Bulls. Talk about marrying at the height of someone's career. Larsa first rose to fame through her appearance on the first season of The Real Housewives of Miami in February 2011, where she appeared in 7 episodes alongside castmates like Leah Black and Adriana Demora. Interestingly, she reportedly left the show because she was too level-headed for the cast, which, if you've seen any reality TV, you know is basically code for not dramatic enough. But don't worry, she came back with a vengeance when the show was revived in 2021 after an 8-year hiatus. During her time away from Rome, Larsa became more known for her friendship with the Kardashian family, particularly Kim Kardashian, often appearing on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, until their very public falling out in 2020. She's also built a massive social media following, launched a luxury jewelry brand called Larsa Marie, and created Larsa Pippen Fitness, a subscription-based fitness service. By 2024, her net worth was estimated at a cool $10 million, not too shabby. Fast forward to September 2022, and rumors start swirling that Larsa is dating none other than Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's second son. Like, if you were trying to create NBA drama in a laboratory, you literally couldn't come up with something more perfect than this. The internet absolutely lost it, and honestly, for good reason. Now, when these dating rumors first dropped, most people assumed Larsa and Marcus had known each other forever, right? I mean, given their family connections, it would make sense. But that's actually not the case at all.
We actually met at a party 4 years ago, and I feel like a lot of people want to like spin things like, oh, they've known each other their whole life. And I'm like, by the way,
That's right. According to Larsa herself, they only met in 2019 at a party in Los Angeles through mutual friends. They developed a friendship first, which eventually blossomed into something more. During an interview, Larsa made it super clear that they didn't grow up knowing each other, despite what many people assumed.
we did not. I just met him 4 years ago. You know, when his dad and Scotty played together, like they were like not together. His mom and dad were not together. I was in college. Like we missed each other.
At first, they tried to keep their relationship on the down low, which makes total sense given the family history involved. A source confirmed to Us Weekly that they were dating and trying to keep it discreet due to the rift between Scotty and Michael. I mean, can you imagine how awkward those family gatherings would be? But by January 2023, they decided to go public with their relationship, confirming what everyone had already been speculating about for months. They even started co-hosting a podcast together called Separation Anxiety, which, looking back now, feels a little ironic given how their relationship turned out. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the age gap. Larsa is 16 years older than Marcus, some reports even say 17 years, which definitely raised some eyebrows. But when asked about it, Larsa had a pretty interesting take on the whole situation.
Well, I've dated guys that were a lot older than me. Scotty is 10 years older than me.
Scotty's 10 years older than
Yeah,
you.
so I don't really view age as, you know, you're mature,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah, I
immature.
agree. I agree.
I don't feel like that determines if you're mature or not.
She makes a pretty valid point, right? Age is just a number after all. But the real drama wasn't about their age difference. It was about the family connections and history between the Pippens and the Jordans. When asked directly about why she would date Michael Jordan's son, given the complicated history between Scotty and Michael, Larsa insisted that it wasn't something she planned. It just happened naturally.
I didn't plan it like that. It wasn't like it was planned like that. I think we were just together a lot with our friends, and it just so happened. It wasn't like something I like planned.
Throughout 2023, Larsa and Marcus seemed to be going strong. They were spotted together at various events, even competing together on Peacock's The Traitors Season 2, and generally looking like a happy couple. But as with many celebrity relationships, things weren't always smooth sailing behind the scenes. Fast forward to February 2024, and we start seeing the first major cracks in their relationship. In a move that every millennial and Gen Z person recognizes as the universal sign of a breakup, Larsa deleted all photos of Marcus from her Instagram and unfollowed him. And in typical modern breakup fashion, Marcus mirrored the move, unfollowing her back. This social media purge had fans convinced that the relationship was officially over, but in a twist that nobody saw coming, the couple was spotted together on Valentine's Day 2024, suggesting they might have reconciled. Talk about giving us all whiplash. And it didn't stop there. They were seen together again in April 2024 in Miami Beach, further fueling speculation that they had gotten back together. Despite these occasional sightings, the on-again, off-again nature of their relationship seemed exhausting, even for us spectators. Finally, in July 2024, Larsa confirmed what many had suspected. The relationship was over for good. During a podcast appearance, she stated that they were on different journeys, making it clear that this time the split was permanent. She said, "I think it's off. I mean, it's off. It is off. I feel like I'm good." She later told Page Six that she wasn't looking to date, choosing instead to focus on her children and businesses. A solid move if you ask me, but of course the drama didn't end with their breakup. In the months that followed, both Larsa and Marcus moved on in very public ways. Marcus was reported to be dating a younger model, Ashley Stevenson, while Larsa claimed to be unbothered by her ex's new relationship. Things took an even more dramatic turn in September 2024, when Marcus told a fan that Larsa was back where she belongs, in the streets. Ouch! Larsa's representative didn't take that lying down and fired back with, "We hope he gets the help he needs. It won't be in one of her homes." Talk about not holding back. The post-breakup tension reached new heights in December 2024 when Marcus was seen with Nicole Murphy, who happens to be Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. This just added more fuel to the already blazing fire of their very public breakup. Interestingly, this wasn't Larsa's first controversial relationship. In the next section, we'll dive into her past and present, and the complicated dynamic between Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Surprising new developments. First up, let's talk about what Michael Jordan has been up to lately. While he's stayed relatively quiet about his son's past relationship with Larsa, he's been making major moves in his career. The biggest news? Michael Jordan recently joined NBC Sports as a special contributor for NBA coverage, starting in October 2025. This is actually a huge deal in the sports broadcasting world. NBC hasn't held NBA rights for over 20 years, but they're coming back with an 11-year deal to broadcast NBA and WNBA games starting in the 2025 to 26 season. And who better to have on their team than the greatest basketball player of all time? Jordan seems excited about this new chapter, saying, "I am so excited to see the NBA back on NBC. The NBA on NBC was a meaningful part of my career, and I'm excited about being a special contributor to the project. I'm looking forward to seeing you all when the NBA on NBC launches this October." This move makes perfect sense for Jordan, whose legendary career was broadcast on NBC during the 1990s. It's a nostalgic full-circle moment that has basketball fans absolutely hyped. NBC Sports President Rick Cordella emphasized Jordan's significance, noting, "Michael's legacy both on and off the court speaks for itself, but it hasn't been all smooth sailing for the Jordan family." In February 2025, Marcus Jordan found himself in legal trouble when he was arrested for DUI and cocaine possession. The arrest video went viral, with Marcus reportedly telling officers, "I'm Michael Jordan's son," a move that drew criticism from many who saw it as an attempt to use his father's fame to get out of trouble. This incident occurred months after his split from Larsa, but it still made headlines due to the Jordan name and the connection to their previous high-profile relationship. It also sparked discussions about the pressures of being the child of a sports icon and living in that enormous shadow. Meanwhile, Jordan's financial success continues unabated. Reports from April 2025 estimate that he earned $300 million in 2024, primarily from his Nike partnership and Air Jordan royalties. He also splurged on a $70 million Gulfstream 650ER private jet in March 2025, showing that at 62, he's still living the ultra-luxurious lifestyle befitting a billionaire sports legend. Now let's shift our focus to what's been happening with Scottie Pippen. As we mentioned earlier, Pippen has been relatively quiet about his ex-wife's relationship with Marcus Jordan. However, he's continued to be vocal about his strained relationship with Michael Jordan. In a January 2025 interview, Pippen described his relationship with Jordan as horrible and beyond repair, doubling down on the criticisms he's been making since the release of The Last Dance documentary. He emphasized that they were never close friends off the court, stating that they never socialized outside of basketball and that Jordan was a very difficult person to deal with. These comments suggest that the rift between the two NBA legends has only grown wider over time, with little prospect of reconciliation on the horizon. The fact that Larsa dated Marcus likely didn't help matters, even if Pippen chose not to comment publicly on their relationship. In another viral moment that had fans talking, a video surfaced in early 2025 showing Scottie Pippen playfully choking a man in what appeared to be a lighthearted interaction. The video, shared by Daily Loud on X, included claims that Pippen had tried to steal the man's girlfriend, though this was presented in a joking manner. Pippen described this as an unfiltered moment, and most viewers took it as harmless fun. However, some fans couldn't resist connecting it to his personal life, with one comment stating, "There is a reason why Larsa left him and went to Jordan's kid." Another user, Mr. Lexton, quipped, "Maybe next time Pippen should stick to basketball, not love triangles." These reactions highlight how Pippen's actions continue to be viewed through the lens of his ex-wife's relationship with Marcus Jordan, even after their breakup. The public seems unwilling to separate Pippen from the narrative involving Larsa and the Jordan family, despite his relative silence on the matter. Speaking of Larsa, she's been keeping busy with her reality TV career and various business ventures. She continues to appear on The Real Housewives of Miami, where her relationship with Marcus was occasionally featured before their breakup. The show's 7th season premiered in June 2025, giving fans more insight into Larsa's life post-Marcus. In a surprising development, Larsa was recently spotted at a party in Miami with someone new, with the Miami Herald reporting that her new companion is also an athlete. While details are still emerging about this potential new relationship, it suggests that Larsa is moving forward with her life and not dwelling on the past. In fact, recent reports suggest she may be dating former pro basketball player Jeff Kobe, with rumors of a wedding date already set. Talk about moving on. But perhaps the most interesting recent update from Larsa came in May 2025, when she appeared on The Jason Lee Show and made some candid admissions about another controversial relationship from her past, her brief 2020 fling with NBA player Malik Beasley. In the interview, Larsa admitted that dating Beasley was a mistake, attributing her poor judgment to what she called COVID brain. She explained, "That was a mistake, but I had COVID, I had COVID brain." She went on to say that she felt isolated and vulnerable after recovering from COVID. COVID-19, which led to the relationship. This reflection is particularly interesting because the Beasley relationship was controversial for different reasons than her romance with Marcus. Beasley was married at the time, with his then-wife Montana Yao expressing shock over their relationship. By acknowledging this as a mistake and providing what some might see as an unusual excuse, COVID brain, Larsa showed a more self-aware side that suggests she's reflecting on her past choices. Her COVID brain comment quickly went viral, with posts from accounts like Daily Loud and Say Cheese DGTL sharing clips that garnered significant engagement. While some viewers were sympathetic to her explanation, others found it amusing or questioned the legitimacy of COVID brain as a justification for dating a married man. Regardless of public reaction, this moment of reflection suggests that Larsa is processing her past relationships and perhaps learning from them. She has stated that she's currently focusing on her children and businesses, taking a step back from the dating scene that has put her in the spotlight so often. As for Marcus Jordan, he's been busy with his own ventures as well. He continues to run his Trophy Room boutique, a sneaker store dedicated to his father's legacy and Jordan brand sneakers. Marcus's dating life post Larsa has also made headlines. In January 2025, he went viral for busting out dance moves on a courtside date with Instagram model Nara Ford, showing that he's moved on from his relationship with Larsa. He's also been linked to Ashley Stevenson and Nicole Murphy, suggesting an active dating life that has put the Larsa chapter firmly behind him. What's particularly interesting about this whole situation is how rare it is to see a celebrity parent so openly disapprove of their child's relationship. When researching similar cases, very few direct parallels exist. Sure, there are plenty of examples of celebrity parents having strained relationships with their children, like Lindsay Lohan and her father, who has criticized her personal life, including relationships, or Beyoncé's 2016 song Daddy Lessons, which is interpreted as alluding to her father's alleged infidelity that strained their relationship. But these cases aren't quite the same as a parent directly saying no when asked about their child's partner, especially not in such a public way. What makes the Jordan Pippen scenario particularly unique is the professional history between the families. This isn't just any disapproval. It's one rooted in decades of shared history, championships, and now apparent rivalry. In many ways, the Larsa-Marcus relationship saga is a reflection of how our society consumes celebrity news and drama. It combines elements of reality TV, sports history, family dynamics, and romantic entanglements, all the ingredients for a story that captivates audiences and generates endless discussion on social media. The fact that we're still talking about it, even after they've broken up and moved on, speaks to our collective fascination with celebrity relationships, especially those that come with complicated backstories and family drama. So what do you think about this whole situation? Do you believe Michael Jordan's disapproval played a role in Larsa and Marcus's breakup? Would their relationship have lasted if not for the complicated family history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Larsa Pippen and Jordan family drama, be sure to check our channel and click the boxes you see on your screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.